I'm not done with pocket screws yet.
Kreg Jig, maker of the gripper. Work safer, work smarter.
Now, I realized in making the plywood cart that I have over there that whenever I was doing the pocket holes, I realized that I need some kind of support on either side of my pocket screw jig because some panels are quite long. So, that's my project today. Now, just like any good tool or cabinet, it's going to require a good foundation. That's why we're going to make the base 30 inches long. Now I also need to make tops, and they have to be the same measurement as the bottom. Now we're going to make the pieces for the actual drawer cavity assembly, or the cabinet part. We're just going to make 3 pieces, 3 3/8 inches wide. Now you can see kind of the shape that it's going to take. Now what we're going to do with these backs and these sides is we're going to attach them with biscuits. And no, we're going to pocket screw. Now, I've got the top right here and one of the sides right here. I'm going to attach the sides and the back to the top, and then I'll screw in the entire assembly from up underneath on the bottom. That way everything will be nice and hidden. Want to put the side first, flush with the front. Okay, now we just need to cut some riser blocks, which, as you know, was out of 3/4 inch plywood, and there were going to be 4 of them. 3 of them are going to be solid, while the 4th one will have 2 miters that will allow that thing to slide in and out to be able to be removed. They're going to span the distance between those 2 boxes and be flush right up against. This will allow the jig to also be raised up to where it'll be flush with the very top of the cabinet. Now before I figure out the appropriate size for this piece that's going to be attached to the jig, I need to glue up these 4 pieces, well I should say 3, including the 4th, which is the opposing miters. And now that we got these pieces in place, I went ahead and cut the miters for the mounting bracket, and it fits nicely. So now we can mount the jig to that. Now one thing I'm going to do that is a little added feature is to keep this thing from going too far and not registering in the right place. I'm going to put a little stop block back here, and then I'm going to take out a little chunk or a rabbet out on this back side so it can bottom out on that. Okay, now it's time to make the drawers. All right, now we're just gonna cut the drawer sides. They're gonna be 8.5 inches long. We're gonna cut them on the crosscut sled. Okay, now we just need to make the groove that's going to be in all 4 pieces of the drawer to accept the drawer bottom. Now, unfortunately, this plywood blade that I've been using does not have a flat bottom when it goes through the wood. It's actually very pointy on both sides and leaving a raised section in the middle. So I'm going to switch to a blade that actually has a flat tooth surface. That way it will ensure that I have a nice flat groove for the drawer panel to sit in. Okay, now we've got the fence set 1/4 inch away from the blade and the blade raised up to 1/4 inch high. Now we're just gonna run the grooves on all 4 pieces. All right, now because a piece of plywood is not quite 1/4 inch thick, but also thicker than a regular saw blade, we're just gonna have to move the fence over just a little bit to accommodate the actual thickness. That is what we want. Now because these drawers are going to accommodate screws and drill bits, we're gonna put some dividers with the help of plexiglass inside these drawers. One run over the saw blade is just the right thickness for a sheet of plexi. So we're gonna put a notch here and a notch here that'll go all the way from top to bottom to accommodate 1 full sheet across times 2. Now we kind of get to try out our new jig setup. We're gonna put pocket holes in the fronts and backs just to accept the sides. Alright, with the box dry fitted with the drawer bottom that I've already cut, it's going to come down to pocket screwing them together from the fronts and the backs. And then we're going to go over to the table saw and run some plexi over it to cut the dividers. And then we're just going to make the drawer front that will accept the door handle, and then we'll be finished. Now some people might characterize me as a little sesquipedalian, but let me tell you, my other jig was a little superfluous. This thing is far from it. Let me break it down for you. I've seen other designs where these are flip-top lids. It allows you to get to your stuff, which is great and all, but your workpiece would have to come completely off. You'd have to stop your work completely, redo everything just to get your stuff, and then put everything back together again. Here, the workpiece stays put. I get the drawers out, get whatever I need, push it back in, and I'm ready to go. And if the job is a little too big, something like my plywood cart over there, and it's not really conducive to have this out there, I just take the jig out to the workpiece itself. Now, if anything that this project has taught you is that any tool can be made better. Just think outside the box. Put your imagination to it. You can create something that'll make a single tool work that much better. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. This jig is going to get a lot of use in my shop, and it will fit right in my assembly table above the dovetail jig on a pull-out tray. If this is your first time to Rockin' H Woodshop YouTube channel, I urge you to subscribe to the channel, and I want to welcome you. Be sure and check out my website at rhwoodshop.com. There you will find apparel such as shirts, hats, and plans, including the plans for this jig. Also, don't forget, Woodworking in America will be in Kansas City this year. I plan on attending along with many other YouTube woodworkers. I hope to see you there. I would love to shake your hand. One last thing, don't forget my newsletter. Subscribe to it through my website and you'll be updated each time that I make a post. So guys, that's it for me. Until next time, I will talk to you then. Be safe in your shops, and I just gotta do it. Boom!